Hi everyone, welcome to week 5. I can't believe we're here. I hope you are all feeling amazing and excited to finish really strong. We wanted to end this last week with focusing on mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness is a really great way to bring your body into that parasympathetic state. Often we are in fight or flight and we don't even know it. So finding ways that you can bring yourself back in your body and feel grounded is going to really benefit you mentally and emotionally, which is in turn going to benefit you physically. Some of my favorite ways to practice mindfulness is something I'm always working on and definitely something I'm not very skilled at. But some of my ways that I am intentional with being mindful are waking up a little bit earlier than the rest of my busy family and having my morning cup of caffeine, whatever that is. For me, it's Perk Energy right now. It's warm and I can sit and quiet and drink it and just be present with it. Another thing that I like to do if I'm feeling extra scattered is to just go on a walk, get outside, be in nature and breathe and just go for a walk. And that really brings me back into my body and then into that more parasympathetic state. And also just it helps me to feel gratitude when I'm outside in nature. So that's something that I like to do throughout the week. And another one that I really enjoy that's more scheduled for me is to do a weekly yoga class. I like hot yoga right now, so I've been doing 26 and 2, so I'll go through that class and I know what to expect, and it's heated and it feels really cleansing both mentally and physically for me because I sweat a lot and I'm also in my body that whole class. I'm not thinking about anything else. So that's something I try to schedule at least once a week. I could probably do it a lot more, but once a week kind of seems to be when I can fit it in. And otherwise, if I'm just feeling overwhelmed or scattered, I like to just put my hand on my heart or my belly, like something that's like physical, and take in a few breaths and look around. And if I can do that when the sun is shining on me, it feels even better to just kind of come back into my body, breathe, and feel that sunshine. So the rest of the coaches have some other tips, but I think this week, most importantly, is finding what works for you. There's so many ways to bring your body into that parasympathetic state and really take yourself out of fight or flight. And for you, that might be going on a run or listening to music and dancing in your kitchen or stretching or meditating. So finding what works for you, finding what helps you recharge, and doing more of that and making it a priority. So we look forward to hearing about all the ways you guys recharge this week, and we hope you have a fantastic last week. Ask us all the questions, and we'll be talking about ways you can continue to work with us kind of in the future.
Hi everyone. I'm so excited for you to go into your last week of coaching with us, and I hope that you all decide just to continue in this just fun community that we have here. With that being said, my tip for mindfulness for this week, I like to kind of spread this out throughout the week, but one thing that's important to me is that I'm spending my time wisely. And I notice that when I am in social media, for me especially, it's Instagram, I tend to start scrolling and I know that it's not something that is valuable for me. Like, I'm not super engaged. I'm probably doing it distracted as well as doing something else. So I ask myself, is this filling my cup up? And I do that pretty regularly, especially with Instagram. It's important for me if I can't say yes to that, that I close the app and I do something else. So I do that probably 3 or 4 times a week, and it's usually in Instagram. It has something to do with my phone where I am distracted. And most of the time my answer, if I have to ask that question, most of the time my answer is no. And I change and I do something else. I put on my Audible and I listen to that, or I get up and do something around the house. Like, I'm typically using that as a distraction. So it helps to bring me back in the present moment in order to make a more intentional decision on how I'm spending my time. So if I can't say that what I'm doing is filling up my cup, then I change what I'm doing.
Hey everyone, so this week's habit is going to be mindfulness. My favorite mindfulness activity, it has to be really quick for me. This is one of my struggles personally. I like to use a 5-minute journal. It's from Amazon. It literally takes you 5 minutes or less, and it's a gratitude journal. So it helps you to kind of focus on things that you're grateful for. It helps you to things to strive for the next day that you want to work on. There's always 3 to 5 things that you have to list, and it only takes 5 minutes, and there's always a nice quote too, and it just kind of helps to ground me. And again, it's just a really great way to get back to gratitude. And a lot of times in my experience, the more grateful we are, the more that we find things to be grateful for, the more we are calm and happy and fulfilled.
Hi, everyone. So when we start to think about mindfulness, there are two things that come to my mind. One of them is a more formal approach to mindfulness, things like meditation and journaling. And then there's kind of the other side of that, which is an informal mindfulness. And I really think it's important to note that one is not more important or better than the other. It's kind of whatever works for you. I personally am more of an informal mindfulness person. I take several moments throughout my day just to kind of stop, breathe, and make sure I'm in the present moment. How am I feeling physically, right? Anything from being nervous or excited to am I hot or am I cold, right? Taking a second to just look around and kind of say one thing in your brain that you're grateful for or that you're thankful for. And those little tiny bits of mindfulness can really add up throughout the day and make an overall big impact. So just know that if one part of mindfulness or one way of approaching that doesn't work for you, that there are many ways to approach mindfulness. And sometimes it's just about figuring out what works best for you.
Hello. Recharging for me is many things. The small things is something that I look for, like my cup of coffee in the car when a kid has been dropped off. Watching the sun, listening to the birds. It can be me taking a walk with a podcast in my ears. I do recordings with friends, so we talk to each other with recording when it suits us. So I, do that. Listen to them talking in myself. I stretch. I lay down and stretch. Often I listen or talk, on podcasts or these recordings that I do with friends. Just time for me in that way. It can be like 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be long. That really makes me feel